Hi, I'm Mel,
And I'm Janelle.
and this is the Murder Mamas.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
welcome.
Hello. It's Thursday.
It is
I haven't
Thursday.
done
Oh
that in a
my
long time.
God, so cool. No, okay.
Go away.
Janelle's in a mood
I
today.
really am. We're back.
We're back.
I was not here last week.
No, we took a week off
Well,
because we couldn't communicate with each other.
you were about to come to my house. What did you say? I was giving you until 10 before I
10
came.
p.m. and then I was like, then I'm on my way. My texts were not going through. Her texts were not going through. Wait, both?
No, your texts were coming through.
Oh,
But you just needed to restart your phone, which we didn't
Okay.
discover for an entire week.
a week. Thursday to Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Had you just restarted your phone, we could have not been communicating on Facebook Messenger for
shit.
last week.
Yeah. So that happened. That was weird.
It was really strange.
Yeah.
Quite strange.
Right.
But we're back.
All right. So today we're going to be talking about the documentary called Long Shot. It's on Netflix if you want to go see it. It is about a man who was falsely imprisoned for a murder that he did not commit, which is insane.
My nightmare.
I can't even imagine.
It happens so much.
It does.
Like, we just went over Amanda Knox. Like, it happens
Right.
in any country.
Yeah. Everywhere.
It's literally my nightmare.
Yeah. I can't imagine going through this. So
Just the, mental toll this would take on you.
Oh no, yeah. That's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. A murder. I mean, that's like
Murder.
the top of the, you can't get any worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's frightening. So the documentary is about a man named Juan Catalan. And I'm probably saying that wrong because Janelle's laughing at me.
I'm just laughing at the hesitation. Catalan.
Yeah, like that. Juan. They don't give a backstory on this, so we just hear about his story. And so I thought it would probably be best to tell you how he got to this point. Like they didn't really talk about it.
I feel like you're that soundbite that's like, I bet you're wondering how I ended up in this situation.
So anyway, so we're going to be talking about Juan. He's the one that was charged with murder that he did not commit. Martha, who is Juan's, who was murdered. That was the girl that was murdered. Alma is the ex-girlfriend of Juan. Mario is the brother of Juan. And those are the main people. And then we'll
Key players.
So, key players. All right. So backstory is Juan was...
Are you nervous?
I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do this in my head. I just can't.
I was like, you seem nervous.
No, I'm
how long have we been doing this? How are you nervous right now?
Trying to think and talk at the same time while being high is not good.
Did you eat a gummy? Or did you
No, I already ate all my gummies. Oh, shit. Okay. So, here we
I
go.
don't want a gummy. I think I want a gummy.
Oh, I can get you gummies.
Okay.
Yeah?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Okay. All right. Okay.
It's just sleep better.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Okay.
Okay. Mario is Juan's brother, and he was getting into hanging out with the wrong crowd, stealing, theft, robbery, that kind of thing. And Juan was like, I don't think I want to live that type of life. So I'm going to, what?
Are you talking about as kids, or is he a full grown adult?
This is when they're teens, but he has been
in and out of the streets.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Juan was like, I don't think I want to live like that. And so he would work with his dad a lot in the shop that they owned together. And so he was on the straight and narrow. He did everything that he was supposed to do. He went to work. He worked his butt off, basically. Okay. So there's this one night that Mario's friend, Jose, they are in like one gang. I'm not going to say their names because I don't remember and I don't think it's relevant.
Okay.
They're in a gang, and they yelled out the window at a car and said, "Hey," I guess like while they were driving down the street one night, like just driving up and down the streets doing whatever they do. And he yelled at some other guy and said, "Hey, are you so and so?" And the guy's like, "Yes." And that his name was Enrique. And so they shot him because he was from the rival gang. And then they shot the passenger, and he didn't die, but Enrique died. So now we have these two, gangs at war.
Okay. Can I just soapbox
Yes.
for a second?
Yes.
Maybe this is like, I don't understand gangs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it
No.
at all.
I don't either.
I have, what? I just don't understand. Like,
I think it's a way to survive for some people because life is hard.
and I'm realizing that saying that sounds really like ignorant and privileged.
Sure.
I just don't get it.
Right.
Like, what is the incentive?
To feel safe.
Okay.
To have a, quote, family, because everybody goes back to that, I think.
But, like, don't they have a family? Like, this guy has a brother. So, like,
Yeah.
why? And a dad who has a mechanic shop. And,
Right.
like, why?
I don't...
I'm
that one I don't know. Why
no,
you would choose.
just, like, in general.
Yeah.
Is it, like, community? Like, what is the incentive? Because it seems like everyone knows what the toll is.
Right.
Like, you're gonna have to deal with getting killed or
Right.
going to jail. Like, there's
That's
so many
true.
sacrifices.
Right.
So I'm wondering, like, what are the benefits?
I think
And
to
I
feel
just,
safe.
like, don't understand it.
I think to feel safe.
And
And
I
that's one little time.
Find it so interesting from, like, what's the scientist who studies, like,
Freud.
no, a sociology standpoint, like,
Yeah.
studies societies
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, I just find it very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Because I, as an outsider
Right.
who's never lived in a community that really, like, had a present, like a gang present,
Right.
I don't see what the incentive is.
I don't think you come from the same background as they do. So
No, I
that's why.
totally get that.
And I'm just saying, I think it's for safety and for that having someone have your back, like knowing they're going to be there for you.
But, like,
I know, but everything else just comes with it. Like, that's just the way it is.
but I'm saying, like, if, like, Juan is on the straight and narrow.
Right.
So, like, if you just don't do it,
Right.
then you mostly get left alone, right? So, like,
Sure.
what's the, I get,
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
what is the point?
That's true.
I don't understand. I have some
Yeah.
research to do.
Yeah.
'Cause I
guess
don't
so.
really get it.
I don't get it either.
And it just seems like it causes so much, like, strife for so many people, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So,
Yeah.
anyways.
Okay. So that happens. And
I have questions about why gangs are.
okay. Okay. So now that happened, and a couple weeks later, we're going back to Martha, who is the girl who gets murdered. And they think that Juan murdered her, but that's not true. So I just want to clarify that. Martha was waiting for her boyfriend, Jose Leedsman, who Jose is the friend of Mario's, who was in the car that shot Enrique.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So Martha's boyfriend was Juan's brother's friend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So she's sitting in her bedroom and she's like, ooh, my boyfriend's coming over. And her friend shows up and she was like, hey, you want to come out with me and Christian, her boyfriend, her friend's boyfriend? And so Martha's like, yeah, like, let's get ready and blah, blah, blah. And they go out to meet Christian in the car, and Jose comes and fires 5 shots at Christian, and the cops are called. So everyone scatters. So
Who's Jose again?
Jose is the boyfriend of Martha's friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so why is he firing shots at them?
Because of the gangs that I just told you about. One of the members was the one that got shot or something, or like.
So it's just like
it's just a gang.
She was involved. I mean, she wasn't involved,
No.
but she was a victim of gang violence.
Yeah, she was
basically.
a victim of gang violence. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
So 5 shots are shot at Christian, the boyfriend that's waiting in the car. Okay, so the cops are called. Jose is called in to the station.
We need a red board.
I know, right? That's why I put all these notes down.
A bulletin board with red string.
I am not going to be able to remember this in my head. I can already tell you that. And so Jose is in the station, and they said that Martha picked him out of a lineup, which put him out for a mark on her. So, like, she hasn't been killed yet. It was just Christian that was killed. And since she was there, they thought that she was talking to the cops. So they put a mark on her saying they need to murder Martha. And that's how this whole thing goes down.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Jose goes back into his jail cell and calls his friend who's out of jail and puts a hit on her. And this is a quote, because the police recorded the call, because they record all the phone calls. They said, okay, so the police reported the call. The call the CD that the phone call was on, sat in the detective's office, unheard. And if he had listened to that phone call that he was making to the guy on the outside, within 5 months, he could have saved Martha's life. Within 8 months, he wouldn't have arrested an innocent man for the crime within a year. Within a year, he could have freed the innocent man he was arrested from. So, like, this tape, he told exactly, like, hey, I'm the one that did it. You need to shoot Martha. And this was on a tape sitting on this guy's desk, and he never bothered to listen to it.
Wow. Color me surprised.
Right.
The police didn't do their job.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yes. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like.
And. Yeah.
I have a job. I know you haven't had a job in like a long time.
Yeah.
But like as a person who has a job, I can't imagine just like not doing my job.
Right.
And being like, one, perfectly okay with that.
Right.
Just like morally and like ethically and like my integrity, you know? And then also like, this is the job you get paid for. You can't listen to evidence that is presented to you when you are a fucking investigator.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you not care? Is it apathy? Like, what is it?
Yeah. I don't know. Are they overworked? I don't know.
But if you're like, here is an active case with a recording evidence.
Right. You would think that he would listen to it.
There would be like a shred of incentive.
Right.
Instead of just like ignoring it, doing all the wrong things, and then being like, Ma, how did this happen? Like, what?
Yep. Okay, so Martha goes on trial for the death of Enrique. This is before
she's really
she's
testifying.
He was like, that's why they called a hit out on her. So like she went to testify in jail before, because it took them 11 days, I think, to kill her from the time that he called the hit out until the time that she was murdered. Like 11 days had gone by. So she actually ended up in court. She refused to say anything about anyone. She didn't say, I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. I wasn't there that day. Like, she didn't testify against him.
She was a ride or die.
She was. And they still murdered her. So, that sucks.
Again, why?
I know. Right. So So as the cops are trying to figure out what's going on now after she gets murdered, they're like, okay, now we have another dead body. Like, these are all connected in some way. They call a bunch of people in, and one guy had said, the guy you're looking for is named Juan, and he has a girlfriend named Alma. So that's how Juan got picked up for Martha's murder.
Because some
jail, like, gang member, like, they interviewed a bunch of these guys, and that's what came up. So Juan
also, like, yeah, those are fairly common names. I fear, like,
yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's John and Anna,
right. Right.
Okay, I bet I could go on Facebook and find.
I know.
17 couples that are John and Anna in our area.
Sure.
Like,
yeah. I know.
It's not like it's, I don't know, Heinrich and Beelzebub or something. Like, very common names.
Yeah.
Okay,
so Juan spent 3 days in jail before he could even see a judge. And this is kind of like where the documentary starts now.
Okay.
That was the backstory. I just thought, like, you should know why Juan got arrested and how and it got there. Because they don't say that in the documentary.
Yeah. So, I mean, because you did all the backstory stuff. I'm just here tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just a body in a chair. Their only evidence is this one dude who was like, oh, yeah, you're looking for a guy with this girlfriend who has this name.
Yes. And then
they're immediately like, all right, man, come over here.
Well, they had a sketch artist. So they got a sketch artist. And they got a sketch composed somehow. I don't know if this is from one person or from multiple people. I don't remember.
Okay.
But, like, there was a sketch that was involved. Then they put that sketch in with 6 other... or no. What did they do?
Think.
Well, they put... I think the sketch... Someone identified Juan as the guy being in the sketch. Because it looked exactly like him.
Okay.
So they just assumed off of that was 100% Juan.
And is this how we're just trying murders now? Is like no actual physical evidence?
Exactly. Well, no, there was no evidence at all. So, like...
Just these random...
gang wars, they're
like just willy-nilly people in the street, like, oh, it could have been that dude over there with the hat. Like, what? Okay.
Well, so they put him in put him with 5 other pictures. They all look similar. Like, all these men look exactly the same. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, they just get people that look exactly the same.
You're sounding real white right now.
No, I mean, same with everybody. Like, they just picked people that I was like,
so
I didn't mean to be like that.
Listen.
What, is that wrong?
No. When I was 16, you know the story. When I was 16, I got robbed at gunpoint by black guys.
Yes.
And they gave me a picture lineup.
Yeah.
And it was really hard.
Yeah.
Because one, I didn't really remember.
Right.
But I think that was the reason it was the hardest.
Yeah.
And 2, it was like nighttime.
Yeah.
So like, just looking at a picture of someone and being like, is this the... I'm like, it's all of them.
Yeah,
like,
right.
And also none of them. Like,
right.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I have no... It was so much pressure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm failing.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, I can't say it's any of them because I genuinely have no fucking idea.
Right.
And I don't know how tall any of them were.
No.
Like...
You were... No.
They were man height?
You were in shock.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So it's so hard. It's so hard.
I can only imagine it. Yes. It could be.
Like literally one of... I think about it randomly at times, and I'm like, that was one of the hardest things I think I ever had to do.
Really?
Yes, because it was like so much pressure.
Yeah.
And like, I knew that the case against the people who traumatized me sort of relied on this information.
Yeah.
And I could not deliver.
Right. And that's...
None of the people that were with me could deliver. Like, we just could not do it. Yeah. And I'm almost certain that had it been a bunch of white men or women, I also wouldn't have been able to do it.
I don't think so either.
People look really similar.
There are.
And when you're in a situation where, like, you're shocked.
Yeah.
And they were covering their faces. Like, all I saw were eyes. I'm like,
there's no way. Yeah.
I can't do this.
No.
It was so much pressure.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Well, they did that. They put together...
I don't even know why that's, like, a thing that can be used.
Right. Well, I have some information on that, too. I looked up some other... Just not... that had to do anything with the documentary. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
So anyway, they get him in a lineup, and someone, I forget who, but someone else picks him out. And it was this one. It's Juan. And so then they just go with it. And they put him in jail, and they start convicting him, or they start the process to convict him. I think it is.
Just like, okay, we found the person, and who cares?
Yes. It was a gang-related murder. And even though Martha had nothing to do with the gang,
like she was just a casualty.
She was just a casualty, or she was dating someone in the rival gang or something, but like that's not her fault. And so she was, maybe it was. Yeah.
Sort of.
You chose to be like that, and
it's the people you associate with.
It is. So I think the cops probably don't put a lot on that because it is gang related. And it's sad to say, but I think that's the truth.
Yeah.
So,
same thing like, what's the word we're allowed to use? Sex workers?
Sex workers, yeah.
I was going to say streetwalkers.
Streetwalker.
Or like homeless or, like any of those very marginalized groups of society.
Yeah. So that really sucks.
Yeah,
so he goes to jail. Like to jail. He goes to jail. And they first find out that they're like, what's he in for? And some of the people found out that he was in for murdering a 16-year-old child. So they were like, well, now we're going to get at you because you did something to a child and it wasn't like an adult. So they had to move him out of the first jail that he was in and put him in a different, higher security jail.
Oh, my God. Poor guy.
This guy's innocent. Let's keep that in the back of your head. This guy is innocent.
No, this is like a nightmare for me.
Can you imagine going into jail and then them saying, oh, you did something to a child, so now you have an X on your fucking back.
Can I tell you, like, I don't want to sound dramatic, but, like, if I were in that situation, I would probably kill myself.
I think I would, too. I would, too.
I really don't want to sound dramatic, but like...
there's no way.
I
couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
No.
Because there's no justice. Like...
No.
And in this case there is, but it's because of like this most random thing. Yeah. But like...
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
No. It's rough.
And no one's going to believe you, and then...
you're shit out of luck. Once you get that X on your back, there's no turning around. Yeah. So luckily they did move him. So anyway, he remembers that his cousin is studying law, and so he hires his cousin to try and help him get out of
My Cousin Vinny.
Right. Great movie. So he goes to jail, and the guy's working on trying to get him out, and he's thinking what happened the day. The lawyer kept saying, what happened on that day? What were you doing? Where were you on that day?
Yeah, let's give you an alibi.
An alibi, yes.
A very airtight alibi. Sure. What were you doing?
And he was like, how am I supposed to remember what I was doing on that specific day? That was weeks ago. He was, his first thought was there's no way.
Yeah.
And then he remembered that it was Mother's Day, and he got Dodgers tickets for his mom to go to the Dodger game, and he went with his daughter and his mom, I think, to the Dodger game. And so he was at that game the whole time. And so,
wasn't there something too about like the window of time it would have taken for him to like leave Dodger Stadium and get to the spot where the girl was killed, and that was like absolutely unreasonable?
It was unreasonable because he stayed like it was like a tie inning, and they were in like the 11th inning or something like that. And
like had it been a normal game that only lasted 9 innings,
and he knew everything. He was into baseball. Like he goes to baseball games and knows how to play baseball. So he knows. That's cool. Yeah. So he knew how to give plays to the cops where it was like, no, that actually happened. Like, he's that good.
It could be corroborated.
Right. Exactly. Like those plays actually happened. You can just go back and watch. So like, how would he know that, like stuff?
I also feel like if someone was like, hey, I think you committed this murder on like June 8th, I'd be like, let me check my calendar real quick.
Right. Well, not everybody has like a detailed calendar.
I mean, I don't have that detailed of a calendar, but I would be able to like fairly quickly be like, oh no, especially if it was like I went to a baseball game. Like it would not be a hard like
I think I'd have a hard time. I do remember. Okay, well. Like I have no idea. I was probably on my couch. Like that's my alibi.
Bruce is my alibi.
Bruce, Lady
Bird are my alibi.
I got some fish. They look at me all day. Yeah. So the lawyer was like, great. So now let's prove that you were at the game. Like
let's get your tickets or whatever.
Yeah. So his lawyer decides to go through the logs or the pan when they pan through all the TV shots and everything like that. So they have 4 hours,
like the full broadcast,
4 hours of the broadcast that he's watching. And you know what really pissed me off was that. And the announcer was like, here at the game with 27,562 people here, or whatever. And then when the detective was like, then we had to search through 26,000 people that were at that game. And I was like, wait a minute, I thought you said it was the other number. And then the guy that at the end was like, and then we had a stadium of 60,000 people that we had to go through. And I'm like, wait a minute, why does this number keep getting bigger and bigger? These men are like, and then I had to search through and there were 30,000 people there. Well, when I searched, there were 60,000. I'm like,
my dick was the biggest.
Like, what the fuck? Are these guys like upping the number? Like, what? Okay, so anyway. The stadium guy, announcer dude, it said it was like 27,000. So I'm going with his number because he was there. So he's looking through 4 hours of tape trying to find his cousin. So then they find out somehow that Curb Your Enthusiasm, which was a TV show back, I don't think it's on anymore, but it was
back in the day.
Back in the day, they were filming that. And they never filmed at a live location. They had never filmed at a live location before. And they just said like, hey, let's go to the Dodgers game and give it a shot just to see like what would happen. Yeah. So they were filming at a game. And so they had Larry David sitting at the seat and he stands up to go walk up and down the aisle to get shots, like as he's walking up and down the aisle. And here comes Juan with his daughter, holding his daughter's hand, and just walks back down and goes into his seat and sits down. And it's like right then and there, they're like, boom, there's your alibi. Like now we just have to prove that you were here the whole time and you couldn't have killed her because it would have taken like more time.
Correct.
And your daughter's there with you, and they interviewed the daughter too.
It was like the announcer said, like, "Oh, we're filming like Larry, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Larry David's here today, filming some scene, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, let me check that episode."
Yeah.
Of that and get the footage from the Curb Your Enthusiasm crew, right?
Like it wasn't even out yet, so like they were lucky that they even got that footage. Yeah. Like that they turned it over to them.
And then it was like scrubbing all of that, and then you can see him. Yeah.
So that is insane. So they find him on the video. That's it.
I mean, I think that's like pretty much the end of the story, but like it's just wild.
It's
like,
wild.
It's a wild story.
Right. So he gets off because they prove that he couldn't have.
So does the investigator ever listen to the phone call?
I don't know.
No.
Because
or is it still
I learned about the phone call not through the documentary. So.
Is it still sitting on his desk to this day?
Someone listened to it.
Collecting dust.
Someone fucking listened to it because they got it.
Now it's 2024
Right.
and it's still there.
Yep. Okay, so I did some little bit of research just to see, and the National Registry of Exonerations recorded 153 exonerations in 2023, which is a record high.
Really?
Yes. This is a tenfold increase from 1989 when the registry began tracking data, and is a sign that the rate of exonerations is increasing. So that's scary.
Such a weird word.
I know, right? And then I also looked up the accuracy of hand-drawn police sketches is only about 9%.
Wait, what?
Yes. The accuracy of hand-drawn police sketches is about 9%. Further research indicates these facial sketches or composite pictures are useful less than 20% of the time.
What?
Even the most optimistic statistics suggest only about 30% of sketches lead to an arrest.
I mean, okay, sure, they don't lead to an arrest, but like,
Right.
I mean, sometimes it's funny to look up like bad ones.
Yeah.
They're really bad.
They're really bad. Yeah.
I just feel like eyewitnesses are so unreliable.
No, they really are.
Like, again, like the only real experience I have is like the one crime
Right.
that was committed against me.
Right.
And I couldn't tell you what kind of car, what color
No.
the car was.
No. You're in shock.
No, I could tell you there were 3 people.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
And that's pretty good to be able to come up with that, too.
that I saw. There were 3 people I saw.
Yeah. Because there could have been 5 there.
Yeah.
You know? Who knows?
And especially at night, like it's night, it's dark.
Yeah.
There's so many, like I know I was a very unreliable eyewitness.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think most people are. So I am. Like, I don't remember anything ever.
Yeah.
You could ask me what I had for breakfast and be like, I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure, like in my case, if the people who had robbed me did not continue to go on like a spree that night,
right,
that led in like a police chase and them shooting at the police.
Oh, really?
Like,
oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, like they would have never gotten caught.
Wow.
They didn't even get caught from that either.
Wow.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
They got turned in. Some of them got turned in by their family. But like, I don't think I would have never been able to be like, that's them,
right,
with any degree of certainty.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Not a chance. So this one's pretty interesting. I mean,
it wasn't very long, but it was.
It's not a very long documentary. It's pretty interesting.
He didn't have to spend years and years in jail, so that's why this is not as bad as some of the other ones. Like, he did spend time, but I think it was like 6 months or something. It wasn't any longer than that. Not that that's not, I mean, 6 months and having to be moved because of, an X on your back. That's scary as hell.
Not, sure, he was employed at like a family business, but imagine you're not.
Right.
There goes your job.
Right.
Or your career.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's going to be on your background, even if they say it's not, it's there. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be there.
Always going to be there.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at you. No, I'm just kidding.
I have a list. I haven't actually done it. Murdered anyone on that list yet.
It's just a rolling.
It's just a rolling list at the back of my head.
You don't even put it on paper.
No, never write anything down. Never.
Okay.
Never have a diary. Bye.